here at Legacy Building, and I have an incredible guest I want to introduce you guys to, Miss Ashley Knight. Welcome, Miss Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Ashley was one of the clients I helped buy a home last year. Ashley has an incredible story. I mean, I've been doing this almost 30 years, and the story that she's going to tell you guys in terms of how she put herself in a position to be able to buy, the reason why she didn't buy a car for X amount of years, the reason why she said, okay, this is the right time to buy, and she bought at the time when the interest rates were higher. And I want her to explain why she decided to buy a home when the rates were higher, when everybody else was saying, no, we want to wait till rates are lower to buy. So with that being said, Miss Ashley, I want you to start off by kind of telling everybody what was the plan that you had in place and what was the reason why you decided to wait so long to be able to buy?
I guess if you want to package it up in one word or phrase, it would just be delayed gratification. So I lived downtown, in the middle of downtown, in like a 645 square foot apartment for about like 5.5 years. And my main thing was, how do I live beneath my means? So like I could always afford to pay for things more or like travel and do all that stuff, but what were my ultimate goals? And my ultimate goal was like home ownership. So one thing I did in addition to living downtown was I gave up like owning a car.
Yes, you
So I have always owned a car ever since I was 16 years old, like everybody else here in Colorado. And then when I moved downtown, I was like, okay, how much does gas cost? How much does insurance cost? And then the car payment, if you didn't own it, maintenance. And then the kicker for me living downtown was, where do you park the car? You can find parking for anything under $200.
So when you looked at that, I call it equation, and you factor in the car payment, car insurance, parking, maintenance, what would you think on average you would probably, if you went down that road, what would you say the number would be that you would be paying out a month?
Oh God. Well, at the time I owned my car outright, so I think I might have paid about like $600.
Okay. And the key there was you owned your car outright.
Exactly.
Well, if you had a car payment, then I'm going to
I don't even know.
Yeah. And I'm going to be
because I don't drive a beater.
I know you don't. Yes. So I'm going to be generous and say that car payment is $300 a month. So now you're paying out $900 a month, right?
Exactly.
When you look at that, and you decided to go the Uber route, right?
Sure did.
Okay.
But also that was when Uber was really cheap. You could do the Uber share for like $4.
Oh my God.
It was a good time.
So when you did that, how much do you think you were paying out in Uber a month? On average?
I would budget about $75 to $100 a month.
So if you say 100 there, 900 with the car, the maintenance, that means that you're saving $800 a month.
Exactly.
Right? And then what did you do with that $800 a month that you were saving on average?
Well, you save it, but also, it just freed myself up to do more things. Like I was able to travel. I was able to, like you put it in other areas that are more important to you. It's all about prioritization to me. Like what's important to me may not be more important to the next person. And that's okay.
No. And the unique thing too that I learned about you is the fact that when you decided to buy, you had a plan in place, not only so much as far as saving the money, not having a car payment, things of that nature, but you put yourself in a position where you said, okay, I think now is the time to buy. What made you decide to buy at that particular moment last year when the rates were probably higher than most people wanted the rates to be?
To be very honest, it wasn't a very rational decision. It was very much like I just had something inside of me of like, now's the time. For years, I had been wanting to buy, but something inside me told me like, it's not quite right, even when interest rates were super low, but also like housing prices were crazy expensive. So it just kind of felt right. And like things fell in place, like I had always been in touch with Kathy just because she's friends with my mother.
And Kathy, so sorry. Kathy, by the way, is Ashley's real estate agent that she used. Kathy, I've known for years. She's incredible.
Love her. So have always, been in touch with Kathy, friend of the family, and then meeting you, and then it just kind of flowed. For me, like if things are easy and not hard, then I'm willing to go down that route.
Wow. What is your plan? So a little bit. You bought 2-bedroom, 2-bath?
Two bedroom, 1 bathroom.
Okay. The goal for you, and we talked about this, but the goal you bought at that price point was because of what reason?
I just wanted, again, living below my means. So I was approved for way more than what I spent. But I was thinking down the line, like, we don't know what's going to happen in the next like 5 to 10 years. Or is there going to be a recession? I don't know, but I want to be prepared and comfortable.
And then we talked a little bit about the fact that you want to start building your real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Right?
So where I live now is obviously not where I'm going to be in like the next like 10, 20 years. Like, it will be an investment property down the line.
Got it. And then once you turn that into investment, what are you going to do then?
Oh, I'm definitely buying a bigger house.
Give me some,
for
girl.
sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. That was no trick question. I didn't entice her,
The
guys.
answer was C.
Yes, she knew direction where she was going with that. No, I love that. And then the last question I have for you, and this is the part I want that generation that's your age. What would you say to them? The people that are sitting at home, they don't think they could buy. They're feeling like the interest rates are too high. They're feeling like I would prefer to rent versus buy because if something breaks down, the maintenance people are going to come and fix it for me. I mean, what would you tell that group of people?
A few things. So one thing that you and Kathy taught me was you date the interest rate and you marry the house. And that's been fine. So I haven't really had any concerns about that.
And not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
when she says that, you date the interest rate. The reason why we say date the interest rate is because you're always going to be able to get a lower rate when interest rates drop, right? It's a matter of getting into that home, and then once you're in that home, you could decide on when you want to refinance, if you want to pull out cash, things of that nature. So that's the reason why we use that word date. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off that.
No, you're good. And when it comes to, like if things break and stuff like that, you can always shop around. Like the house that I bought, all of the appliances were 2 years or newer.
You
So
probably have the warranty too. All warranty.
and all under warranty. So like those things like are minor as long as like you take that into consideration, and you can just tell your realtor like, hey, like I want a place that has X, and they'll try to find it for you.
Absolutely. And then one other thing I want to add to that, you brought something up earlier in the fact that when you moved downtown, you had a car, it was paid off free and clear. I tell people all the time the difference for somebody renting versus somebody owning is hypothetically you stay in this house for the next 5 years. You say, well, Arthur, I have my car right now, but I want to upgrade. And the way I'm going to upgrade is I want to do something really nice. I've paid my dues. I know about the delayed gratification. So I'm going to take out $30,000 from my house that I bought 5 years ago and use that as a down payment on this $50,000 car. And when I trade in my old car, guess what? No car payment whatsoever.
Right.
Whereas if you rent, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
You got that car payment based upon $50,000 that you owe, right? So it just gives you so many options about being a homeowner. And I just love the fact that you moved forward and you did that, because a lot of people wouldn't have did what you did. So I commend you, I congratulate you, and you know what we're doing next year. We're going to refinance you, get you a lower payment, and then if you're ready to move on to your next home, me and Kathy got you.
Can't wait.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Once again, generational wealth, and for me, it's legacy building, guys. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Take care.